Morning children, welcome to today's EVS class. Myself Kavita Shri here. Today we are going to start the 10th chapter Who to. Today's subtopic is Kabaddi. Targeted learning outcomes of today's class are to understand the importance of games and sports, to know about the game of Kabaddi. The competency covered here are observation and identification. Before starting today's class, let us quickly revise what you know about games and sports. You have already learned in class 3 that games and sports are very important to keep us fit and healthy. Games like cricket, football, hockey, golf, etc. are played outdoors and are known as outdoor games. Games like chess, table tennis, badminton, boxing, etc. are played indoors and are known as indoor games. We play games for various reasons. We play games for fun, to keep us fit and healthy, and also to represent our school, state or country. Look here, the boys are playing Kabaddi. Look here, the girls' teams are playing Kabaddi in an open field. Kabaddi is known by various names. In southern parts of India, it is known as Cheduguddu or Hututu. It is known as Hadudu for men and Chu Kitkit for women in the eastern India. It is known as Kabaddi in northern India. Kabaddi is originally an outdoor game. It does not need any equipment and can be played in any open space. Nowadays, Kabaddi tournaments are played indoors. Look here, the picture of an indoor Kabaddi court. Kabaddi is recognized as the national sport in Bangladesh. It is known as Hadudu in Bangladesh. Children, look at the picture here. This is the Kabaddi court. A Kabaddi court is 13 meter long and 10 meter wide. Kabaddi is played by two teams. Both teams consist of 12 players each. However, only 7 players per team are allowed on the field at one time. Players from each team take turns running across the center line to the other team's side, tagging members of the other team and running back by holding their breath. Kabaddi is a game that does not need any special equipment to play with. It is a game that is open to everyone. So children, today you have learned that Kabaddi is originally an outdoor game. It does not need any equipment and can be played in any open space. Nowadays, Kabaddi tournaments are played indoors. A Kabaddi court is 13 meter long and 10 meter wide. Kabaddi is played by two teams. Both teams consist of 12 players each, but only 7 players per team are allowed to play on the field at one time. Players from each team take turns running across the center line to the other team's side, tagging members of the other team and running back by holding their breath. Kabaddi is the national sport of Bangladesh. We will learn more about Kabaddi in our next class. Today, you write down the answers of these questions. First question is, fill in the blanks. Part A, Kabaddi is originally an dash game. You have to write outdoor or indoor. Part B. Each team of a Kabaddi game has dash players. Part C. At one time only dash players of each team are allowed to play on the field. Part D. Kabaddi is the national sport of dash. Question number 2. What is the size of a Kabaddi court? Question number 3. Draw a Kabaddi court. Children, write down these answers in your notebook and learn the answers with their spellings. That's all in today's class. Thank you. Good morning, children. It's time for today's EVS class. We are doing the 10th chapter, Who to. Today's subtopic is Game Rules. Targeted learning outcomes of today's class are to know about the game of Kabaddi, to know about game rules. The competencies covered here are observation and identification. Before starting today's class, let us quickly revise what you have learned in the previous class. You have already learned that Kabaddi is originally an outdoor game. But nowadays, Kabaddi tournaments are played indoors. A Kabaddi court is 13 meter long and 10 meter wide. Kabaddi is played by two teams. Both teams consist of 12 players each, but only 7 players per team are allowed to play on the field at one time. Players from each team take turns running across the center line to the other team's side, tagging members of the other team and running back by holding their breath. Kabaddi is the national sport of Bangladesh. Today, we are going to know about some rules of Kabaddi. In sports, rules define what is allowed or what is not allowed in the game. Look here, the picture of the Kabaddi court. Here, the two teams play on two different sides of the court. The game is played in two parts of 20 minutes each. After 20 minutes, the teams interchange their courts or the playing area. Each team has 12 players with 7 actual players and 5 substitutes. A player who goes to the opposite team court to earn points is called the raider. Players of opposite team who defend the team from the raider are called the defenders. The raider must chant Kabaddi Kabaddi continuously during a raid. This is a rule. The raider recites Kabaddi Kabaddi and holds his breath and tries to touch the opponent team members and come back to his own court by touching the center line. If the raider is able to come back, then the raider team gets 1 point for each member out. 2 additional points are given to the raider team if all the members are out. But if the raider is not able to come back to his own court, then the defender team gets the points. Why are game rules important? Rules in games are important because rules help to play the game in a disciplined manner. We learn a lesson of teamwork by following the rules. Rules help to make a fair judgment of the winner. So children, today you have learned that in sports, rules define what is allowed or what is not allowed in the game. A player who goes to the opposite team court to earn points is called a raider in Kabaddi. Players of opposite team who defend the team from the raider are called defenders. The raider recites Kabaddi Kabaddi and holds his breath and tries to touch the opponent team members and come back to his own court by touching the center line. Rules help to play the game in a disciplined manner. Children, try to answer these questions. Question number 1. Fill in the blanks. Part A. A player who goes to opposite team court to earn points is called a dash. Part B. Players of opposite team who defend the team from the raider are called dash. Part C. The raider must continuously recite dash and hold his breath. Question number 2. Why are game rules important? Children, write down the answers of these questions in your notebook and learn the answers with their spellings. That's all in today's class. Thank you. Good morning, children. It's time for today's EVS class. We are doing the 10th chapter, Who to Tu. Today's subtopic is Women Sportspersons. The targeted learning outcome of today's class is to know about sportspersons. The competencies covered here are observation and identification. Before starting today's class, let us quickly revise what you have learned in our last class. In the last class, you learned that in sports, rules define what is allowed or what is not allowed in the game. Rules help to play the game in a disciplined manner. In Kabaddi, it is a rule that the raider should recite Kabaddi Kabaddi and hold his breath while playing till he comes back to his own court. Children, look at the picture here. This is the picture of three sisters, Jwala, Leela and Hira. All three of them were Kabaddi players. These three sisters faced many difficulties to play Kabaddi because during their childhood, girls were not allowed to play. But with their strong will, they learnt the game. They formed a Kabaddi club. The youngest sister Hira became a Kabaddi coach. Children, do you know who is a sports coach? A sports coach is a person who gives training to the players about the rules, skills and techniques of a game. Children, this is a picture of Indian female Kabaddi team. Do you know who is the coach of this team? She is Sunil Dabas. She is the coach of Indian female Kabaddi team. Children, look at the picture here. Can you recognize who is she? She is Karlam Malleshwari. Karnam Malleshwari is an Indian weightlifter from the state Andhra Pradesh. She is the first Indian woman to win a medal at the Olympics in 2000 Sydney Olympics Games. In 1995, she received the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna, India's highest sporting honour, and in 1999, the Civilian Padma Shri Award. Look here, the picture of Mary Kom. She is a famous boxer. Mary Kom is an Indian female boxer from the state of Manipur. She is the only Indian female boxer to have qualified for the 2012 Summer Olympics, competing in the flyweight 51 kg category and winning a bronze medal. She became the first Indian female boxer to win a gold medal in the Asian Games in 2014. Children, all of you recognize Hima Das. Yes, she is from our state Assam. She is a famous athlete. Hima Das nicknamed the Dhing Express, is an Indian athlete from the state of Assam. She holds the current Indian national record in 400 meters with a timing of 50.79 seconds that she clocked at the 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta, Indonesia. She is conferred with the Arjuna Award by the President of India on 25th September 2018. Children, look at the pictures here. We have pictures of P.T. Usha and P.V. Sindhu. P.T. Usha is an Indian track and field athlete. She has been associated with Indian athletes since 1979. She is often called the Queen of Indian track and field. Her most glorious performance occurred at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, where she won the 400-meter hurdles heats. P.V. Sindhu is a badminton player. Look here, the pictures of Sania Mirza and Sakshi Malik. Sania Mirza is a tennis player and Sakshi Malik is a freestyle wrestler. Children, today you have learned about few women sports persons. Coach of Indian Kabaddi female team is Sunil Dabas. Karnam Malleshwari is a weightlifter. P.T. Usha is a track and field athlete. Mary Kom is a boxer. Hima Das is an athlete. Indian tennis player Sania Mirza. P.V. Sindhu is a badminton player. Sakshi Malik is an Indian freestyle wrestler. So children, today answer these questions. With which sports are the following sports persons associated? Karnam Malleshwari, Mary Kom and Hima Das. Question number 2. Make a list of 10 Indian women sports persons and the games they play. Children, write down these answers in your notebook and learn the answers with their spellings. That's all in today's class. Thank you. Good morning children. It's time for today's EVS class. We are doing the 10th chapter Who Tutu, Who Tutu. Today's subtopic is Importance of Sports and Games. The targeted learning outcome of today's class is to know about importance of games and sports. The competency covered here is discovery of facts. Before starting today's class, let us quickly revise what you have learnt in the previous class. In our last class, you have learnt about few women sports persons of India. Jwala, Leela and Hira are Kabaddi players. Sunil Dabbas is the Kabaddi coach of Indian women Kabaddi team. Karnam Malleshwari is a weightlifter. Mary Kom is a boxer. P.T. Usha and Hima Das are athletes. Sania Mirza is a tennis player. P.V. Sindhu is a badminton player. Sakshi Malik is a freestyle wrestler. Children, today we are going to learn about the importance of sports and games. There are different types of sports. It may be outdoor or indoor. People play different sports. Do you know why sports are important for us? Games and sports make us fit and healthy. Thus, it helps to improve our physical well-being. Playing games keeps us happy. Thus, it improves our mental well-being. Games improve our concentration. It helps in our academic growth. Games give us confidence. Thus, it helps to develop our emotional well-being. Games develop leadership qualities. Games help to develop social skills. Games help to adjust in our society. Thus, it helps to improve our social well-being. Games and sports are defined by some rules which involve time management. So, playing sports and games help us to manage our time properly. Games bring discipline in our life. We learn discipline rules from the games. Thus, sports and games are very important for our life. Discipline leads to success. Children, are you spending most of your time in mobile phones, TV, and video games? Do you think it is right? No, don't do that. Choose your favorite sport and lead a healthy life. So, children, let us now recap what we have learned today. Games and sports help to improve our physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. Playing games and sports brings happiness and discipline to our life. Happiness and discipline bring success. Choose your favorite sport and lead a healthy life. Children, with this we come to an end of chapter 10, Hututu. Today there will be a class test of 20 marks based on this chapter. I have posted the Google form link in the G Suite classroom under the topic Tests and Activities. Submit the test on time. That's all in today's class. Thank you.